It's the pleb. How many journalists, reporters, YouTubers come in with a WWE style entrance? The answer is none, because the pleb is a original trendsetter. This is how I do my entrances. Bombastic, flashy. That's the pleb. Okay, in this video, we are going to talk about the World Economic Forum meeting next week in Davos, Switzerland. That's right, the World Economic Forum is 4 days away. But first, a message from my sponsor, Calendars That Curse. Do you want unwoke products? Calendars that make fun of climate change, Trudeau, support the truckers? Buy these calendars that curse. We need to support products that are not woke, okay? We need to vote with our dollar as consumers. And we need to support cool companies like this and not companies that hate us, okay? Like the people attending the World Economic Forum. And last but not least, before we start the video, if the World Economic Forum wins, you will be eating this. Crickets in a bag. Dry, disgusting, tasteless, trash. The World Economic Forum wants you eating bugs because of climate change. You know what I think about the World Economic Forum and crickets? That's what I think. Right in the garbage. You are trash. Welcome to today's video. 2023 World Economic Forum. What do you guys know? I've been digging on Twitter. Been seeing what's going on next week in Davos. Been looking a lot at my friend's profile here, Andrew Lawton, who's a journalist at True North. Hey, he follows me on Twitter. Awesome. You should follow Andrew Lawton too. He's an amazing journalist. He covers the culture wars. He is covering the World Economic Forum. Pierre Poilievre hits him up, gets interviews with Poilievre. Cool dude, man. But yeah, he's been covering a lot of the World Economic Forum stories, and I'm going to cite a lot of his work here in this video, so give him a follow. All right, before we start the video, we have a message from Klaus Schwab, descendant of the other N-word, okay? Klaus Schwab here has a message for you about this year's World Economic Forum. Let's watch it together, shall we?
It is so exciting that at the beginning of the year, we can meet again in person. Only personal interaction creates the necessary level of trust, which we need so much in our fragmented and fractured world.
You're the one destroying the trust, dummy.
To bring people together for an informal dialogue in a remote Swiss village such as Davos can be or should be a good recipe to restore trust.
Okay, so you guys are going to a ski resort in Davos, Switzerland to restore trust from the public? You will never have our trust, Klaus Schwab. You're never going to have my trust. I don't know about if you're watching the video right now. I'm sure you don't trust Klaus Schwab. Tell me in the comments, will Klaus Schwab's meeting restore trust with the World Economic Forum? I have my doubts, but so 2023 World Economic Forum's kicking off. And we got a story here from Disclosed TV. Terrible news here. Justin, Klaus Schwab to see a record 52 heads of state and nearly 600 CEOs attend his World Economic Forum annual meeting in Davos next week. That is bad news. I don't know how to sugarcoat this. Why the heck is the World Economic Forum growing? Why is it growing? We have spent the whole year exposing the World Economic Forum, exposing Klaus Schwab. I guess the work ain't done, because if they're growing, we're not doing our job. So we got to keep exposing the World Economic Forum for everything they do against us. But man, to see it growing from what it was a year ago is a bad sign. That means we got to keep fighting. But yeah, 52 heads of states. I got the list. I have a list over here in a PDF. It's long, but everyone's going. Everyone, 52 heads of countries. We got like over 300 ministers that are going to be attending, princes, princesses. It's the who's who of the elites will be in Davos next week. And I've done my homework. I've done my homework. You're probably Canadian watching this. You know who will be in attendance next week at the World Economic Forum? Well, Christia Freeland, Justin Trudeau's number 2, will actually be in attendance in Davos. If you guys don't know who Christia Freeland is, let me give you guys a little reminder here. She is number 2 to Klaus Schwab. She's on the board of trustees of the World Economic Forum. I don't know if you guys knew that, but for my American viewers, maybe some people overseas, this is Christia Freeland. You'll probably remember this.
If your truck is being used in these protests, your corporate accounts will be frozen. The insurance on your vehicle will be suspended. The consequences are real, and they will bite. It is time for you to go home.
Okay, so what is Christia going to be doing in Davos next week? Well, here is what she will be speaking about. I got this off the World Economic Forum website. She's going to be talking about restoring security and peace. Okay, so the woman who keeps sending weapons over to Ukraine and escalating the war wants to talk about restoring peace. Okay, the war in Ukraine has exacerbated a fragile geopolitical security landscape. Bold leadership is required not only to restore peace and security in Europe, but also the world. In a time of grave challenges, how can leaders collaborate and cooperate to defend our collective security? Okay, a lot to unpack here. Christia Freeland is of Ukrainian descent. Christia Freeland cares more about Ukraine than she does about Canada. Her actions are very obvious. I find it very rich. that Christia is going to preach to us about restoring peace. She wouldn't even talk to the truckers, you know? She's the one sending money and weapons over to Ukraine and escalating the fight. So what kind of specialist are you in peace? You know, what do you know about peace? But I got another one here, okay? You know who else is attending the World Economic Forum next week? Okay, one of Trudeau's cabinet ministers in true liberal fashion, right? In true liberal fashion, Mary Yang, who was in a scandal in the month of December, you know, who almost obviously wouldn't lose your job because, you know, in the liberal world, if you get in a scandal, you get promotions. You know, you get a first-class ticket to Davos next week to attend the World Economic Forum. That's how you get treated for, scandals in the Liberal Party. But she will be attending Davos. Let's read kind of what she's going to be talking about, what I dug up here on the website. Bricks or clicks? What kind of investments do economies need? Lame. Okay, let's read this. Many countries now invest in intangible assets, such as IP, than intangible assets like building machinery and consequences for innovation, productivity, market concentration, and more. Okay, this is really going with the theme of you alone, nothing, you will be happy, but okay. What does the rise of the intangible economy mean, and how should policymakers respond? Okay, so they want to build a new economy, you know? They want to reinvent the world. You know, everything's a service. You own nothing. I guess this is one of the brain powers of the Liberal Party government going to Davos. So keep an eye on this MP right here, Mary Yang, who's definitely in Davos. Christia Freeland is the number 2 at the World Economic Forum. She's on the board of trustees. So, like, Klaus Schwab dies. Who's next in line? Christia Freeland, you know? Don't be surprised if Christia Freeland is the next Klaus Schwab. I'm just saying, you know? You're on the board of trustees. But we'll end the video with this. I have an exclusive from Mr. Poilievre. Pierre Poilievre, my boy. Pee-pee, as you nerds call him. Mr. Pierre Poilievre spoke with my friend Andrew Lawton here and dropped an exclusive. Let me read this to you. Pierre Poilievre's office has confirmed to me that no conservative members of parliament will be at the World Economic Forum annual meeting in Davos next week. Boom! That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So when I come on this channel and I say we got to vote for Pierre Poilievre, this is why. This is why. Okay? None of his team is going to the World Economic Forum. I like to see this. Okay? We're heading in the right direction. Finally. Does that make you happy? Because that makes me happy that no conservative MPs are allowed in Davos next week. That's a win. That's a huge win. Let me know in the comments. Do you like the fact that Pierre Poilievre said none of his ministers are attending the World Economic Forum next week? Does that make you happy? As happy as it makes the pleb? It's good news. We got some sad news that the World Economic Forum is growing over previous versions, but we have Pierre Poilievre who has our back and says none of his ministers are going. So we have some resistance to the World Economic Forum. We used to have zero resistance. So we're trending in the right direction. We got to keep this fight going. Especially, I don't want to eat bugs. Okay, I don't want to live in a pod. I want to own things. Okay, if I don't own anything, I'm not happy. I don't know about you guys. Maybe people who are poor are already used to not owning anything, so business as usual, but I want to own things. I want to work for my money. I don't want UBI. I don't need your welfare system. I don't want to be dependent on the government. This is what these people want. They want you to be dependent on the government. So we got to keep resisting against the World Economic Forum. So thanks a lot, everyone. Watch this video, man. We're hitting 5,000 subscribers. Blown away. The views are way higher than I thought they would be. So thanks everyone who's been following, liking, subscribing. Leave a comment, man. Are you guys happy that Pierre's not sending anyone to the World Economic Forum this year? Does that make you happy to see some resistance against the WEF? Let me know in the comments. See you guys at the next video. F the WEF. See you at the next one.